Left at the dead end when you get there, guys.
Today's video is going to be different. It isn't a compilation of cops being heroes or enemies of the public, but a civilian, a kid, who ended up becoming a murderer. And if you're thinking this might be a case from some old archives, just wait and see.
To the mass shooting at a Georgia high school that claimed the lives of 2 teachers.
There was a call at 9:30 this morning, but I don't know how true that is. A girl went up to let him in, but saw that he had a gun, and she backed away, and I guess that's when he just started shooting everybody else.
September 4th, 2024. It was a normal day for everyone at Apalachee High School in Georgia, United States, until a student changed the lives of everyone studying and working there for the worst.
We got a whole school to get evacuated, people. Come on now. Our left. Just move with purpose.
But this didn't happen all of a sudden. The events that led to this shooting go back to May 2023, when a father and son got the honors to get interviewed for being suspected of being directly involved on a threat call made to a school.
Hey, how are you?
Are you Colin?
I am.
You want to step out where we can talk real quick? So we got a tip from the FBI saying that somebody from your old address over there in Traditions had made a threat to shoot up school.
For real?
Yes, sir. And your name was associated with that address. So we went over to that address and you weren't living there. So
The guy was Colin Gray, who had no idea what was happening right under his nose.
What? Tell me what.
You have any kids or anything living
Yeah,
here?
Colt Gray.
Colt?
Yeah, Colt. He's my oldest son.
How old is he?
He's 13.
Does he play a lot of video games and stuff?
Yeah, he does. Like all the time.
Is he here right now?
Yeah.
Okay. You think it's something he might have...
I damn sure want to know.
Can we talk to him?
Yeah, absolutely. Now look, he gonna get all red faced when you talk to him. Just calm. All right. So him and his. Let me give you a backstory. So we lived over Traditions.
Colin knew his son Colt was about to get in some real trouble. It isn't like the FBI is involved without any probable reason. So in an attempt to cool things down, Colin decided to give a backstory of how much Colt has been through before and after the divorce of his parents.
First with the separation, all school was kind of so. So I've been up at school countless times just tracking with him, like, hey, make sure you're good. They understand what's
But then, an interesting breakthrough came during the investigation.
Do you have weapons in the house?
I do.
Are they accessible to him?
They are. I mean, there's nothing loaded, but they are down. We do a lot of shooting. We do a lot of deer hunting. He shot his first deer this year.
Yes, sir.
107 yards, and let's go take a look. I'll follow you, sir. I see white. Holy crap. Look at that, brother.
But the cops still had to do their job and didn't buy what Colin said.
I mean, all I can do is ask him.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
You know.
Yeah, I want you to talk to him and just tell him. Like, I don't know anything about him saying shit like that, and I'm gonna be mad as hell.
But Colin still tried to get his son out of suspicion by making himself seem like a responsible parent.
I'm trying to teach him about firearms and safety and how to do it all and get him interested in the outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
Like on my phone.
Get him away from those video games.
Exactly right. That's the god honest truth. And the picture on my phone is him with blood on his cheeks from shooting his first deer. It was just the greatest day ever.
Yeah,
so
sure.
He knows the seriousness of weapons and what they can do and how to use them and not use them. Where this is coming from is no joke.
No.
Like, it's no joke.
But we wouldn't be here if it was.
No, I know. And I'm telling you right now, we talk about it quite a bit.
Okay.
All the school shootings, things that happen.
Yeah,
Scary.
scary.
Are you getting picked on at school? He is. He's getting picked on at school, and is everything okay? That's why I keep going up there.
Yeah.
Because you never really know, and I don't want anything to happen to him. So, yeah, y'all.
All right, well, if you want to grab him,
yeah, y'all talk to
or
him.
we can go in.
That's not cool.
Colt came out like a very reserved kid and looked harmless.
You're saying you didn't say anything like that?
No, the only thing I have is TikTok, but I just go around there and watch videos.
Okay. All right, well, fair enough. Saying that
We talked.
We've done reference to this and that we talked, and you saying that you didn't say anything like that. And I got to take you at your word, and I hope you're being honest with me. I'm not saying you're lying, but it's
Serious thing. Yeah.
It's not unusual for people to lie to police.
Colt's nature and behavior were telling the complete opposite of what the cops had come to interview him for. It was looking like the cops had started to feel the tip from the FBI was flawed, but they still had to make sure to get all the information they could get. While Colin went in to get his phone, the cop and Colt had a little chat.
How's school going?
I was going good here.
About ready to get done with it?
I actually already finished. Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I finished
When
Friday.
was your last day?
Today Sunday, so Friday.
Friday? What grade you going into?
8th grade.
8th grade, almost high school, man.
Yeah.
The last 4 years, really, the last 4 years is what matters. Yeah.
So did you switch schools when you moved from Traditions? Where were you going before?
West Jackson.
West Jackson Middle?
Okay.
Okay. Is
Um,
things a lot better now?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. That's good.
Let me grab you one. Can I walk through your grass? I'm gonna grab a card real quick.
Yeah, it's all good.
Are you getting bullied over there at West Jackson Middle?
That's the thing. I wasn't back there.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wasn't getting.
Now look, be honest with him about
yeah.
now in middle school. I told him you were now, and that's
You
just
getting switched out halfway through the school year, being the new guy?
Yeah, I'm being that quiet. We moved like 6 times already. So.
Well, my dad was a logger and grew up in the military. We moved a lot when I was interested in anything.
I want to be a philosopher. I want to go
A what?
a philosopher.
A philosopher.
Yeah, it's kind of an out there thing, but that's
Yeah. Well, I mean, do what you enjoy. I mean, I did 20 years in the military. You don't have to settle on just one thing.
Yeah.
Did 20 years in the military, retired from that, and been doing this for 7.
That little chat cleared Colt of all suspicion, but the cops still left a
Maybe
warning.
it was something he heard or did on Discord months ago. I don't know. I have no idea.
okay.
So, but he's telling me he didn't.
Yeah.
Telling me he can't remember anything like that. And
Yeah.
I take you at your word. Okay.
Sure.
If you look me in the eye and you tell me that's what you're telling me, I got no choice but to take you at your word right now. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But like I was telling your dad, if we find out otherwise, then it's a different story. Okay.
It's a really different story. Okay.
Got any questions?
No, sir.
You have any questions?
Yes, sir.
All right. God, enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, sir.
Y'all be
Good
safe.
luck
By
to
the
you.
looks of the investigation, Colt didn't have anything to do with the threat call. However, the cops were still double-minded at this point, but with no clear evidence pointing towards Colt, they had no choice other than to take his and Colin's
They
word.
had no idea. The husband said that he hasn't been on Discord since fantasy football. And, and then Colin made contact with him and then brought his son and got his date of birth, brought him out, spoke to him. Apparently he was getting bullied. Very soft-spoken, reserved kid.
Yeah. Pretty much unable to substantiate anything at this point. So, and until we get more information from this
I got it.
so-called tip from
But
the
what they
FBI.
didn't know was that this reserved kid would become a mass murderer in the near future.
Now, a parent and his son in court separately today, both charged with murder for a mass school shooting at a high school in.
We had to drag our teacher's body, and fully into the classroom. We heard him take his last breath.
But here's the more surreal thing that happened. Sometime before the mass shooting, Colt sent a confusing text to his mother, after which she tried to warn the school of Colt posing imminent threat to them. Unfortunately, it was too late.
Marcy got a text on the phone from Colt saying, "I'm sorry, Mother." And then we heard on the news of the shooting. He pulled the triggers. He killed people. And he's my grandson. And it breaks my damn
In the end,
heart.
Colt was caught, but not with clean hands. Instead, he got the blood of 2 teen students and 2 teachers on him, and there was no room for escape from this. As a result, Colt was arrested, and so was his father, Colin, who bought Colt the very gun he used in the school shooting as a Christmas present.
Inform you of the charges that you currently face. In essence, you're charged with 4 counts of felony murder, as outlined in the state warrants that have been issued against you. I want to make you aware that the maximum penalty for felony murder, so for each count, the maximum penalty is that you could be punishable by death, by imprisonment for life, without parole, or by imprisonment for life, with the possibility of parole.
Colt was probably looking at a sentence of living behind bars for the rest of his life if proven guilty. But what about Colin
Charged
Gray?
with 2 counts of felony murder in the second degree. You're charged with 4 counts of felony involuntary manslaughter. You're charged with 8 counts of felony cruelty to children in the second degree. Now, for these offenses, for the felony murder counts in the second degree, felony murder in the second degree, the maximum penalty for each count is up to 30 years imprisonment. For felony involuntary manslaughter, of course, again, there are 4 counts. The maximum penalty for each of those offenses is 10 years imprisonment. For the 8 felony cruelty to children counts, the maximum penalty under the law for each of those 8 counts is 10 years imprisonment, for a maximum total possible penalty for the charges that you currently are facing of 180 years imprisonment.
However, at this moment, Colin is only suspected of all these charges, making him innocent for
I want to
now.
make it clear to you, Mr. Gray, that you are presumed innocent. Your refusal to testify at any point cannot be used against you in determining whether you are guilty.
It doesn't make sense. Why would Colin give a gun as a gift to his son, who was already interviewed once for a threat call due to a tip from the FBI? What was Colin thinking? Did he trust Colt that blindly? We might never know, and there isn't any reason to know now. Colt murdered 4 people, including 2 teenagers younger than him. However, even with all the witnesses and evidence, he is presumed innocent until proven otherwise, showcasing how big the loopholes of our laws have become. It is evident that Colt was the shooter, with many of the survivors having claimed it too, yet justice is delayed to carry a fair trial. The families who lost their loved ones would need to wait and gather more patience to see what end the trial would go to. We can only hope that the father and son duo is given fair punishment, with justice served.